it up for questions and then go from there. So on the offensive side of the ball, starting with the offensive line, certainly having a core nucleus of guys there is really important. We do have 4 returning starters on the offensive line. Jim Green, Keith Mayer, Rob Neeson, and Gerardo Magana all started basically all year for us last year. We shuffled a couple guys around in some spots, but all 4 of those guys have started. And then Mike Hatterley started every game at tight end for us last year. So of those 6 guys that you play in the front, we've got 5 of them returning. That being said, we've also got very good competition at the spots, and these guys know it. We want to, with added numbers and added depth, we want to create more competition within our football team. And so I told the guys this last night, just because you started last year or the year before, that doesn't guarantee anything, and they know that they've got to earn their spot. But anytime you can return experience up front on either side of the ball, which we do, it's good because that's where it all starts. And then our quarterback, Nick Warner, started a good chunk of our games with Joey Fiegler last year. Between injuries and other things going on, they both basically played probably about half the year. But Nick brings a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge of our offense. We put a lot on our quarterback, and Nick has really taken the leadership role that we've challenged him with and really started to run with it. And so it's good to have that. Chad Morrison really had a tough year injury-wise. Chad's in his 6th year. I joked with him and Dan Bather about being our senior citizens on our team. They've been around here a long time, but Chad really didn't get healthy last year. Unfortunately, he was hurt in our last preseason scrimmage. He never really got healthy, so it's good to have Chad back going again. And then Mark Hanley also returns as an all-conference honorable mention receiver for us. Chris Morton was a guy we added in January from a junior college transfer at wide receiver from Snow College in Utah, and he's really jumped right in with these guys as a leader and as a good player. So good core nucleus of guys returning on offense. Defensively, we do basically our front 7 D-line and linebackers. We return really 7 or 8 guys that started games for us. Lincoln Smith, Dan Mather, and Mason Thorsted all started all 11 games for us last year on the defensive line. Really did a nice job. All 3 of those guys have really taken off this spring and summer with their development. Grady Sheehy and Amin Smia and Ike Sirleaf also played a lot on the defensive line, so we return a lot of experience there. We like a lot of things that Derek Lanami has done at the nose guard position as well. Outside linebacker, Logan Von Horst and Tony Bach were our starters last year. Unfortunately, both had their years cut short because of injury. And Mike, too, ended up starting the last about 2 or 3 games for us at outside linebacker. So we returned some experience there as well. And then Tom Tripp is a senior transfer from Black Hill State who's done some good things as well. At outside linebacker, inside linebacker, Mike Bogdanovich was a 2nd-team all-conference selection for us last year, was the captain for us last year. We returned him as a starter. And he's really jumping forward as a leader on our team as well. So good nucleus of guys returning on our defense as well. In the defensive secondary, we have 3 safeties: Logan Dodge, Matt Rakowski, and Jason Gaditz, who all played quite a bit for us last year. And all 3 of those guys will be battling it out at the safety spot and be playing a lot. And then Marquise Mulkey is a guy that we moved from safety to corner through the year. He's playing corner for us this year. And Paul Woodward is a freshman, redshirt freshman, who showed us a lot of good things in the spring and hasn't played down here yet, but has shown a lot of good things. So got a good nucleus of guys returning, a lot of guys who played a lot. Like I said earlier, that really doesn't mean anything. They know that we've got a good, solid group of guys pushing them as well. And competition is really what we needed the most in our football team, and we're able to do that this year. We're 2 or 3 deep, basically all the way across the board now, and we've got a lot of experience on our 2 deep. So, and in addition to that, we've brought in several transfers, about 5 or 6 transfers. I'm not going to single those guys out a whole lot yet because they haven't done anything here yet, but obviously we bring those guys in with the idea that they're going to come and help our football team and help us win games. So, good nucleus of guys returning. Felipe Alfea is a kicker, kicked a little bit for us behind Thomas Parrott last year. Just an amazing work ethic. These guys will tell you he's out there working as hard or harder than anybody on our football team, and it shows by the way he's kicking. And then we also have Evan Nolte returning. Evan is from Aberdeen Central, and he redshirted last year. He'll be in the hunt for that position as well. So as I mentioned, just a good, solid nucleus of guys returning, and a good group of freshmen that we redshirted, about 35 guys last year. Got a good chunk of those guys returning. Zach Flock has mentioned something to me about that earlier. He likes to see all the redshirt freshmen that we have. Those guys really have gotten bigger, stronger, really worked extremely hard, and they're in the hunt. They're pushing for playing time as well. And in addition, hopefully, some of our transfers we brought in, and you never know with your true freshmen which of those guys are going to be ready to go until you see them out on the field and get them in action. So, but we're excited with where we're at. So that being said, I guess right now I'll open it up to answer any questions that anybody's got.